And I think, he's going to be successful in his comeback, and I picked him to win.
Fans were stunned by Terence Crawford's reaction after getting a look at Errol Spence Jr.'s impressive physique as he prepares for his highly anticipated battle with Tszyu.
Obviously, a few things before I do let it go. Errol Spence is returning against Tszyu. Just wanted your thoughts on the return of Errol.
I think Errol going to do an amazing job. I'm looking forward to him getting back.
Terence Crawford made it clear that he's long respected Spence and has always admired his rise from the amateur scene to becoming one of boxing's top stars.
Spence fan. I'm a Spence fan. Like when we build up, I'm like, man, hey, let me get your autograph. You know what I mean? Because I watched you come up. I'm older than you, but I watched you, rooted for you when you was in the amateurs, when you was in the Olympics, all that.
That respect is why many fans were surprised to hear Crawford speak so openly and positively about Spence while the boxing world remains focused on Errol's comeback, his impressive new physique, and the immense pressure surrounding his return to the ring.
I was a fan of Spence. Like, I'm still a fan. I hope he do well. He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. You know, he beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
Like I said, you know what I mean?
Errol Spence looked completely focused as he unleashed a brutal assault on the heavy bag while preparing for his highly anticipated showdown with Tszyu. Ahead of the historic, undisputed welterweight title clash, Errol gave fans an inside look at his preparation during a sharp and intense media workout session. The boxing world remains divided on Errol Spence's return, but respected trainer Bozy Ennis delivered a strong reality check to anyone counting him out ahead of the Tszyu showdown, warning fans not to underestimate everything Spence still brings to the ring.
I think that's going to be a good fight, man. Everybody just sleeping on my man Spence, man. I think Spence going to do what he's supposed to do, man. I think, and then he fight a guy that can really fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, he's a good boxer, nothing, but he comes to fight. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a good test for Spence, I think. Well, Spence should be the one. Spence should be Spence, man. But he must move his head, though. Because Spence should come right at you and just throw punches. You got to, and work on catching them shots. You know what I mean? If you ain't going to move your head, you got to catch some shots. You know what I mean? With your hands, you know?
Decision is stoppage. How's that fight out?
I think it's going to be a stoppage. I think it's going to be a stoppage. Somebody getting stopped. And you know I'm going with Spence.
WBC and IBF champion Errol Spence Jr. showcased a noticeably lean and shredded physique, reflecting the intensity and discipline of his training camp as he gears up for his next fight. The impressive transformation highlights his dedication in the gym and signals that he is approaching peak condition ahead of his highly anticipated return to the ring. This development further emphasizes his championship mindset and unwavering focus. On the Porterway podcast, the panel breaks down the highly anticipated clash between Errol Spence Jr. and Tszyu, examining each fighter's strengths, recent performances, and tactical advantages while debating who holds the edge in this marquee matchup. The discussion features contrasting predictions and explores how the fight could unfold stylistically once the action begins in the ring.
Main problem for Tszyu against Errol is going to be that jab. What does he do against that busy, constant jab
Errol
from on Errol's side? Right? Yeah, Errol just keeping that jab in his face. Yeah. When Bomac prepared for Terence, he said that's the number one thing we got to take away from him. He fights off his jab. He gets confidence off his. He builds off his jab. He dominates you off the jab. So take the jab away, and we got the fight won.
Right.
Tszyu is not Terence Crawford, so I don't know how he deals with that jab. Again, I think Errol's bigger than him. He's at his best, busier than him. But Robert Garcia said today he thinks Errol won't have anything left by the time they do make that fight.
He's really like one of those master kung fu artists, but in boxing. You know what I mean? So he's a masterful boxer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so those are the kind of things that we're looking at Tszyu that doesn't have that kind of stuff.
Let's take a look at Tim Tsyu's training camp, which highlights just how seriously he is preparing for his next fight. He has been putting in grueling road work, sharpening his skills through focused boxing drills, and refining his technique with each session. His well-structured training routine is designed to build endurance, enhance his abilities, and ensure he is fully prepared for the challenges of the upcoming bout.
Go.
V. Aquí same point, right? Okay, F start at the side. Don't move the leg, no. Look in front, V, right? Okay.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, this is
On a recent episode of his podcast, Sean Porter broke down the Errol Spence Jr. versus Tim Tszyu matchup, pointing to areas where he believes Spence may have overstepped by forcing the pace at times when he shouldn't have. Based on his analysis, Porter ultimately leaned toward Tszyu as his pick to come out victorious in the fight.
For a segment of the audience thinking that on fight night against Terence Crawford, so I'm questioning that kind of stuff. And what I took from their interactions together is Spence, we all have a button, Sean, right? Like we all have this one button, if you press it, that we're very sensitive to, a certain topic or something about our character that we've been through. And he pressed Tszyu's button when he said, you're trying to fight to get out of your daddy's shadow and you're not the caliber of your dad. And that really pissed Tszyu off and made him say, you know, I was just trying to give you a handshake and a hug because this is really the last fight of your career, but you know, basically to hell with it now. And you know, I think Spence is the bigger guy, but I'm leaning towards Tszyu to win this fight. And again, I said it when we had Rahman on, I think he's the sharper puncher at this stage of their careers. I saw Spence getting off balance a lot in the Crawford fight, and yeah, he's fighting probably the best fighter of this generation in Terence Crawford. That'll do it sometimes, but I also just saw a fighter whose balance wasn't good on the punches he was throwing.
Speaking on the podcast, Anthony Bradley highlighted Errol Spence Jr.'s willingness to travel to Tim Tsyu's home turf in Australia and expressed his belief that Spence has the skills, experience, and determination needed to defeat Tszyu on his own soil.
I think that classic Errol Spence wanting to go over to Australia to beat Tim in his own his own land, his own city, you know, in Australia, his country, whatever the case may be, is one would refer to that as being ballsy, but it's Errol Spence. That's just who he is, you know. I'm inclined to believe that Errol Spence beats Tim.
Following the comments and provocation from Errol Spence Jr., new footage of Tszyu training with intense focus has surfaced online. The footage shows Tszyu fully locked into preparation mode, pushing himself through intense gym sessions as he sharpens both his skills and focus. He looks determined to answer the challenge and make a statement when the two fighters eventually meet inside the ring. In this exclusive training footage, Tszyu can be seen powering through intense workouts and focused tactical drills, highlighting the relentless dedication and discipline he is bringing to camp as he prepares for the upcoming challenge.
In life, you get hit, but nothing will ever stop me. It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you can rise back up. My mission always remains the same: to be the greatest boxing family that ever lived. Each and every day, we focus on the 1%, the 1% that makes you unbreakable, unstoppable, victorious.
Bernie the Boxer breaks down Errol Spence Jr.'s return after an extended layoff as he prepares for a major showdown against Tszyu in Australia. He analyzes how the two fighters match up, explores the different ways the fight could unfold, and discusses the key coaching changes that are influencing their training camps and overall preparation for this high-stakes event.
I think that's a good opponent for him. You know, Tszyu has obviously, lost some steam. But he still got a good name, and really mostly about his name. I don't know about his ability at this point, but with a guy like Errol Spence that's come off such a dramatic defeat and a couple years layoff, almost 3 years, it'll be wow, time flies. I think it's a good opponent. I like to see the kid.
According to Mikey Garcia, Fighting in an opponent's home country always comes with added pressure, energy, and momentum favoring the hometown fighter, especially when that opponent is as aggressive and confident as Tszyu. He suggested that the atmosphere, crowd support, and demands of traveling abroad could make this one of the toughest challenges of Errol Spence Jr.'s career.
Since the Crawford fight, yeah. 2 years. I'll see a fight for him to come back because Tszyu is also not at his prime anymore. He's been hurt, he's been knocked out. So it's actually a pretty good matchup for a return. It's also a good matchup for Tim. If he beats Errol Spence,
big name,
he gets another shot at fucking bigger. So that's a good matchup for both actually. But he's going to Australia, so that's a little iffy there.
No, plus when you travel that far, it takes a long time to adjust to the weather, the food, the time. Yeah.
Matchup wise,
Roy Jones Jr. is backing Errol Spence Jr. to defeat Tszyu, believing many people have forgotten just how dangerous Spence remains when he is healthy, focused, and fully committed. According to Jones, Spence's relentless pressure, punishing body work, durability, and experience at the highest level are all factors that could gradually wear Tszyu down as the fight progresses. Jones also pointed out that Spence has already proven himself against elite opposition and delivered in some of boxing's biggest moments, experience that could become a significant advantage once the pressure intensifies inside the ring. While acknowledging that Tszyu is strong, aggressive, and a serious threat, Jones believes that a sharp and motivated Spence still possesses the skill set and championship pedigree needed to remind the boxing world why the Big Fish was once regarded as one of the sport's pound-for-pound best fighters.
Came back, we all want to see him make a comeback. We don't ever want to see a guy go out bad and not try to come back because that's what boxers do. I know he took a lot of things into consideration. He even told me when I spoke to a few people about it, and that was a good thing, but I'm glad he made the conscious decision to return. And I think it's a smart return because he's also against a guy who was on the way up there, who made it to the top, but had some struggles, and now he's on the incline trying to get back up too. So it's two guys trying to get back up. I think it's a great situation. Earl don't want no easy fights. Earl don't want to fight guys that are
he AKA no tune-up.
No,
he don't want no
tune-up. He wants challenges. You understand me? He wants challenges. And for him to challenge a person like Tszyu, when Tszyu has been regularly fighting for the last 3 years, he's been not doing much. That says a lot about Earl, but that tells you exactly how much fight is still left in Earl. Earl is a guy who always comes to the party to dance. He don't have time to play no games. And you gotta love that about Earl.
He's always been that guy, even in the amateurs, and I've always had respect for Errol Spence because he's a real fighter. So the respect is always gonna be there for him, and we will unpack this fight as we get closer because it's not until July 25th, but I'm excited to see him back. I'm excited to see him talking his talk. I would have just as much respect for him if he walked away and was able to sort of deal with them voices that we got to deal with as fighters and overcome that to say, no, I'm good. I've done enough. But I equally respect him for taking this chance and taking this risk because it's a big risk. But oh boy, if he can pull it off, if he can come back and look anything close like himself, psychologically, mentally, physically, it's going to be a beautiful thing in the sport because when Errol Spence is boxing is in a better place. So Errol, welcome back.
When Tszyu was asked about the matchup, he made it clear that he believes this is his moment, carrying himself with the confidence of a fighter who fully expects to defeat Errol Spence Jr. when they finally meet in the ring. Tszyu has spoken with great confidence in recent interviews, suggesting that he sees weaknesses in the current version of Spence that he plans to exploit on fight night. He also appears convinced that his pressure, timing, and accurate punching will eventually prove too much for Errol, particularly given Spence's lengthy absence from sport.
I've always been a guy that chases the toughest and baddest challenges out there. And when I got presented with Errol, who's undeniably one of the best fighters of this decade, I didn't hesitate, and I straight away accepted. I accepted not to compete, but I accepted because I knew that the victory is only on my mind. I know the challenge that is put in front of me. I'm going to work super hard, and I'm coming for it all. And Thank you again. Victory is mine.
Meanwhile, Errol Spence Jr. believes he is entering this fight as a wiser, mentally stronger version of himself, and he feels that sense of inner peace could be a major factor against Tszyu. Spence says the challenges, setbacks, and pressure he has endured over the past few years have taught him valuable lessons, leaving him calmer, sharper, and fully focused as he prepares for this important matchup. He also explained that having a clear mindset has improved his discipline, training habits, and overall approach to preparation. If that mentality carries over into the ring, Spence believes fans could see a more composed, dangerous, and calculated version of the big fish when he steps in to face Tszyu.
But I guarantee you, come July 26th, you will see a better, more improved Errol Spence. It was some time I had 3 years off, and I feel like it helped me mentally. It helped me physically. Gave me some time to recover, and just enjoy life. Enjoy the spoils of my wins, and just being with family, being with friends. If you watch my Instagram, you see me traveling, enjoying my kids, having fun. And people kept asking me, "Are you coming back? When are you coming back?" And I told them, I know when it's ready. I know when I'm ready to come back. And I knew one day that I wake up and I decide to come back. And if it didn't happen, then I wouldn't come back to boxing. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to put on a great show. I can't wait for July 26th to be fighting in Australia, to be fighting in front of his fans. I look forward to disappointing them, putting on a great show, putting on another great performance, and showing y'all why they nicknamed me the Truth.
Ronnie Shields believes Errol Spence Jr. still has what it takes to remind the boxing world exactly who he is, especially now that he appears mentally focused and fully committed in training camp once again. Shields has been working closely with Spence throughout intense training sessions as he prepares for the Tszyu fight, helping refine his timing, pressure, and overall discipline inside the ring.
He's a very good fighter, former world champion, and we know if we have a work cut out for us. We just know that Errol is going to be in the best shape that he can possibly get in, and with the experience and everything that he's been through in his life as a fighter, we feel comfortable in going to Australia to get this thing done. And the fans are really going to be the winners of this, so look forward to it.
So now the pressure is squarely on Spence. His transformed physique has the boxing world buzzing. Expectations continue to climb with every passing day. Even Terence Crawford has shown respect as this new chapter approaches. Meanwhile, fighters, trainers, and analysts across the sport are making their picks and taking sides ahead of the showdown.
So happy having Errol Spence back. He's already done so much in this game. Being a unified welterweight champion, the WBC, WBA, and IBF world champion. So it's great having him back. He's got big wins over some great names like Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Yordanis Ugas. So it's just great having him back. I'm personally very happy, and I think that it's going to be a big night for him, big night for us.
Tszyu always turns up to fight. He's shown here on many occasions what it actually means to jump in the ring. He's a warrior, and I know that he wants to get back to the top. And the only way to get back to the top is to beat Errol Spence. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a great fight.
Errol Spence being a warrior, he came back and gave us 3.
But the real question remains, will this new version of Spence shock the world against Tszyu, or are fans getting carried away before the first bell even rings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news, analysis, and updates.